Okay. Ultimatums do not work. It's a waste of your time and it is a sign of weakness. I want you guys to do this instead. Let's talk about 6 ways to persuade a woman to getting your way and seeing things your way.
After having been a lawyer for over 16 years, I've learned that the best way to persuade someone else is this. Think about their interests, because people only do things for their own reasons, not yours. If you keep this principle in mind, you have the chance to be a master persuader.
Know your audience and their interests. Okay? If you want to persuade a woman, know the woman, know what she likes. Get her to see things your way. Okay? She's going to have to know what makes you tick, and you're going to have to know what makes her tick. When you know the woman, you understand women. You know, you can't fault them for who they are. This is the way that you get your way with the woman. Ultimatums don't work, bro. So it's better to persuade a woman to see things your way. And how do you persuade them without persuading them? You get them to see things your way because you build a life that is so impressive. You build a life that is so accommodating. They see you flourishing. They see you thriving. Why wouldn't she want to see things your way? So when you know your audience and their interests, you're going to be able to see whether or not this person's going to fit in your life or not. And if they do fit in your life, you can persuade them to do anything to be a part of your life. Number 2, don't be pushy, bro. You don't have to be pushy.
Here's how you can convince anyone to see your point of view without being pushy. So we've all been in situations where, you in a group with your friends or your homies, and everyone's trying to figure out what to eat, right? And you have a taste for this particular type of food, but no one can make a decision, right? So let's say you're in the mood for Jamaican food, right? And everyone in the crew can't figure out what they want to do. The secret sauce to get people to lean towards your decision is you ask a leading question. So you always give an option, right? So here's how you do it. You say, yo, so what we could do, there's 2 options that I came up with. We can either go get Mexican food or we could go get Jamaican food. I'm leaning more towards Jamaican food because they got a special going on. So now what's crazy is by you providing that leading question, everyone in the crew is going to be like, yeah, you're right. You know what? Jamaican food doesn't sound bad. And they're giving a special. So what I've realized is that most people, they just want to be agreeable, right? And more times than not, they don't have a strong enough opinion. So if you take control of the situation and you tell people what you're leaning towards, people in your circle, they're going to be like, yeah, you know what? We should do this. Eventually they might catch on and be like, we always doing what you want. But when you're the person that's assertive in your circle, you always going to get what you want.
Okay? We're talking about dating and where do we go eat. It ain't tricky because you got to eat, right? Most of the time when you're in the mood for Italian, you're in the mood for Mexican, you got to take the assertive route. A lot of times people want to be led. You don't have to bark on the woman, man. You don't have to say, I'm king ding-a-ling. I'm king red pill. I'm king alpha. None of that silly shit. You can get women to do things your way without having to do a lot of nothing, to be honest with you. Be a leader. Lead in questions. Most people want to be led. They don't want to know. They don't know or take the responsibility of what it is to be a leader. So when you do that, you can get women to do whatever you want, and anybody for that matter. Ultimatums don't work, man. So do this instead. Number 3, use positive and engaging body language to get what you want.
If you want people to think like you want them to think, use social proof. Social proof is essentially proof from other parties, proof from somewhere else that your method of thinking works. So for example, if you want to tell people stop smoking and you tell them, hey, stop smoking because I'm saying it, they might not accept it. But if you say the University of California concluded because of this research that you should stop smoking because it's bad for your health, now you've given social proof and people are not going to argue with a higher authority, but they might argue with you.
Okay. Positive body language. That's very important, right? So you say, you see, look at them do, look what they're doing right there. Look how she's behaving with her man. Look how responsive her man is behaving. This is going to make the woman feel like, damn, you know what? Maybe he says things that are right. We're talking about stats. You're looking at all the things. Well, Google says this, all these stats. This is why a lot of content creators use stats. They're using social proof, right? So when you're looking at social proof, you're looking at positive and body language. You're looking at those things, how people are reacting. A lot of times people don't want to be taught, man. So sometimes if the woman is rolling her eyes, she's tired of you teaching her some shit. She's tired of you telling her some shit. When you use social proof and you use social cues and body language of your environment and situations, it's going to reinforce some of the things that you're saying to the woman. She's going to be like, wow, this guy might be wise. Women are very impressionable, especially in the early stages. Yeah, you talk a good game. Yeah, you look good and smell good. But can this man lead me to the promised land? Can this man save me from myself? Social proof is a really good way to help reinforce the things to get the woman to trust you during those early stages of the vetting process. Number four, get to the point, bro. All this fluff and shit, all this shit that you're talking, using big words, repeating shit on podcasts isn't working. Most women know and heard the show that you were on or heard the shit that you're repeating. It takes away from the validity of the thing that you're trying to convey to the woman.
This is the best kept secret on how to properly persuade and influence people in life and in business. Many times people don't become excellent at sales and deal making because as good as they are at speaking and as good and slick and smooth and they have a word or a line to say for everything, the problem is the person they're trying to persuade knows 100% of the time that that person is trying to convince them of something. Therefore, it puts the person on guard, it makes them hesitant, and it makes them skeptical of everything that person is saying. Instead, to influence this, you have to disarm the person. The best way to disarm them is to make them not even know that you are trying to influence them.
Okay? Being the proof, man. Get to the point. You're disarming the person. You're just doing what you say that you expect from the person. That builds credibility, man. Sometimes you can say more without saying anything at all by just doing the things that you need to do. Be the example, okay? You can't talk about masculinity when you're beefing with somebody. You're doing goofy shit. It's just congruency, man. You guys rely on congruency. You want to be a part of something, but you're not developing anything on your own. You got to ask yourself, sometimes a person's rejection is your protection. You got to look at things like that and be objective and not be afraid to get to the point and understand that when you are the proof, you're being clear and concise. A lot of times women will be persuaded to follow you. Most people will be persuaded to follow you as well because most people don't know what the hell they're doing. This is very important, man. So ultimatums, they don't work, man. Try these instead. Number five, maintain a sincere tone. Okay. Again, you don't have to bark and yell, curse. The loudest person in the room is typically the weakest person in the room. So why in 2024 are we still intimidated by men who scream on the microphone?
You can get self-centered people to do exactly what you want. We all know that self-centered people always want to be right. They can't take any criticism and they act like they already know everything. Now you can use this against them to persuade them to do exactly what you want them to do. Don't try and push people like this to do something directly because they're not going to listen. Their egos are just far too big. Instead, do it in an indirect way using their ego against them. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're on a closing call and you want them to take immediate action on something or pay an invoice today. Now, instead of trying to push them to do it, say something like, you know how it goes. Some people are just so slow to make a decision. I see it all the time. They wait weeks and weeks to move forward, and then it turns into months, and they just waste all this time, and they're stuck in the same exact spot. The smartest people I know, they're action takers. They're decisive, and they move forward when it makes sense. You know what I mean? And just about everyone with a big ego will say, oh yeah, I'm the same exact way. I hate when people waste time. How do we get started today? Now try this out and just watch the deal literally close itself.
Okay. This is all connected. Know your audience, know who you're talking to. Know what her capabilities are. When you have a sincere tone, you can get more without saying anything. You don't have to yell, just be calm, man. Play on her ego. These are all the things that are going to allow you to persuade different people, different walks of life. We're always trying to figure out intersexual dynamics. We need to start figuring out people. Women are people too. Once you start to understand that women are people as well, women are extremely fragile despite all the assistance that they have. It's easy to persuade a woman to get to what you want. It's just a matter of knowing who you are, knowing your strengths, knowing their weaknesses, knowing their strengths, and using it accordingly to get ultimately what you want. It's not manipulation, it's more about persuasion. You're giving them a choice. They still have a choice, but you're doing it in a way where you get to dictate the terms. And number 6, ask detailed questions, man. Now, when you have discernment and you have enough experience, you can start to trust your eyes and not your ears. You can also start to listen to your eyes. But when you ask the right questions, depending on how the person answers those questions, will tell you a whole lot. We have to start learning how to study the people that are in our lives so that way we can see whether they're going to fit or not.
Psychology tricks to persuade anyone, part 1. If my 5-year-old can do this, so can you. One of the best ways to achieve power in any negotiation is to alleviate tension before asking a tense question. You can do this by exaggerating something way more than what it actually is. For example, it'll only be $1 million down and your left leg. Lighthearted joke, tension broke, now I can actually deliver the price. Or in my son's case, it'll almost be his bedtime and he'll be like, Dad, can I please have like 5 popsicles? And I'll be thinking to myself, no dude, absolutely not. It's almost your bedtime. How about we just do 1? It's true, I could have said no, but most of us respond directly to what we're being asked. So if you change how you're asking, what you're asking, you're more inclined to get the outcome of what you're looking for.
Shoot and swing for the fences, man. Why are you limiting yourself? No woman is unattainable. No amount of money is unattainable. No dream is impossible. When you know yourself, you understand that you categorize where you put your emotions, you redirect your insecurities, and you understand people, you are able to get everything that you want, man. The first order of business is to stop compromising who you are. Okay? Ultimatums are for men who are weak. Ultimatums are for men who don't know the value that they possess inside. And ultimatums are for men who live in a scarcity mindset. You are scarce, not the woman. If you have enough value to bring to the table, you continue to create and become great. A smart woman is going to see that, and she's going to play her part accordingly. She's going to try to figure out a way on how to make your eggs, how to suck your dick, and do everything that you need so she can be at the top of the list. At the end of the day, stop compromising who you are. Check out my book on Amazon.com, Masculine Compromise, The Journey of Emasculation to Emancipation. Stop giving women ultimatums and let everybody know that in order for you to be in my life, you're going to have to play my game. I appreciate everybody for being here. Do me a favor. Make sure you guys like this video, share this video. I'll see y'all next time. Okay?